Today we're going to be doing a review of the Omni Pro 220 multi-process welder made by Vulcan, sold at Harbor Freight. And in this video we'll be covering MIG welding with argon gas and 240 volt input. The material we will be working with is 12 gauge and 10 gauge mild steel. My first weld started by setting the machine to the 12 gauge setting with 0.25 wire. I turned the gas on and did a couple of passes. What I tried to do here was demonstrate for you guys how you can adjust the wire speed feed as well as the voltage input. I started to slow down the wire speed feed as well as increase the voltage to get a really nice weld where the weld was taken into the metal so that it was a very strong bond. Here's a photo of the first welds that I did, starting from the top with the lowest voltage and the fastest wire speed, and moving to the bottom with the slowest wire speed and the highest voltage. You can sort of see in this picture that the top weld is very built up on top of each other, as the weld didn't make it into the base metal, and the bottom is a lot flatter. So let me show you a different perspective. Continuing with reviewing these welds, you can see the top left has the most material on top of one another because the wire speed was too fast and there wasn't enough voltage. And the bottom right was just about the right wire speed and voltage, which is ultimately what you're looking for. In this photo, the weld to the left has the slowest wire speed setting and the highest voltage setting of this weld process, and the weld was taken into the base metal very well. Now, I'm not saying that I was running it at the highest voltage that this unit could produce or the slowest wire speed that this unit could produce. This was just for my settings for the day. Now we're looking at the back of the welds here, and you can see that we have pretty good heat penetration, showing that the welds were taken in to the base metal very well. Now in the next portion of this review, I'm going to move back to 12 gauge material, which is slightly thinner than the 10 gauge material we were just working with. So I'm going to set the machine with the two dials pretty simply and go ahead and get welding. Now I'm running this machine with gas and a 240 volt input, and I'm going to just do a right angle joint and a couple of lap welds just to demonstrate how this works and how well it does work, and this is with 12 gauge material. I have to say I'm pretty impressed with how easy it is to set up and use this machine. As long as you have properly identified the wire and material that you will be welding, the machine gets you in the ballpark for the rest of it. You'll have to do some fine tuning based on what it is that you are working on, but it's really nice that it gets you that close. Now that I've used this unit for approximately 4 weeks, I can say that I'm starting to get comfortable with it. I still haven't used it for a lot of stick welding, but with MIG and flux core, it's been pretty great and handy, and lugging it around isn't that bad. I will say it's nowhere near as light as a Millermatic, but for the price and the warranty, it's not a bad option if you're looking to save a few bucks. I'm confident in this welder now and its ability to perform good quality MIG welds. In this picture you can see that I have some decent welds down. They could be better, but they are strong and there's good uniform throughout the motion. I didn't have a lot of kickback from the MIG welder and it came out pretty smoothly out of the gun. Sometimes you have some jump back and it causes some issues. This is the right angle joint that I welded and it came out pretty decent. You can see that I thinned out a little bit too much, but all in all it's a strong weld. I haven't done anything with this as far as a destruction test, but I'm sure that these welds will hold up very strong and I'm not going to have any issues from these anywhere down the road. Now I also wanted to show you guys a picture of some welds that I did today with a Snap-on 140 MIG welder, just to show you that these welds are comparable between the two machines in the MIG configuration using gas. Now the 140 runs off 120 volts and I was using the welder today at 240 volts, so there's a little advantage there going on for the Vulcan welder. But all in all, it gets the job done whenever you're really needing to work with something 12 gauge or less. And for me in the automotive world and the farm apparatus world, I really don't have to weld much thicker than 10 gauge, and if I do, I'm probably going to be using a stick welder or going over it with multiple passes. Anyway, this unit has proved to be very cost effective, and with the extended warranty, I'm feeling pretty confident that this unit will be a permanent fixture on my tool truck. Thanks for watching part 2 on this Vulcan Welder review. If you liked this video and want to see more, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy motoring.